And so God hangs out with people who want to, he's there. He's available for us to go hang out with. But Jacob was that guy who latched onto. And so that's the same thing that God's speaking to us out of Hebrews. He's saying that you will latch on. You will burn for my desire. You'll burn for my will. And that's what God asked for all of us. That we could pray without ceasing means to be somebody who has this reoccurring event taking place in their life, right? That don't happen 24 hours a day, but it keeps coming up because it's a part of our lifestyle. And then diligently, somebody who refuses to neglect God, somebody who's fervent, who boils, and who's willing to latch on to him no matter what. Peter had the same experience, right? Jesus turned to him after he said, you guys that can eat my flesh and drink my blood, most of them left. Well, he turned to Peter and them and said, you guys leaving too? Peter said, we ain't got nowhere else to go. That's when life changes for every Christian. If you think you're doing half the wait for God, I heard an old-time preacher say this one time. He said there was a farmer in the neighborhood had a wonderful, strong mule. He said he had a little donkey on the farm as well. And he said he'd hook that mule up and plow with him. And he said when he'd plow that mule, he'd hook that little donkey up. And so he was watching all this, and he asked the guy, he said, why do you hook that donkey up? He said, because that mule won't plow without him. He said, that donkey don't do nothing. He said, you're right. He just goes along for the ride. He don't do anything. That's us. The Lord, he called us out. He carried the weight for us. He wants us to just go along with the ride. But that mule wouldn't plow at all unless that donkey was tied up to him. And so he tied up and he just lollygagged around while the mule done all the work. Well, Jesus has already done all the work. We're the donkey. Look at your neighbor and say, you're the donkey. And Jesus has already pulled all the weight. He said, if you ask anything in my name, if you come to the Father in me, he will not cast you out. Amen. So he pulled the load for us. All he's asking us to do is to tie off with him.